Actually, it's a left click. But welcome back, everybody. Youngsters episode 25. Somber day here. Steelers did win, beat up on the Browns a little bit, as we thought, but everything that we needed to happen just didn't happen. Joe Flacco, they didn't let him cook. I don't know. The Buffalo Bills did what they needed to, but what are we thinking, guys?
I don't
Roberts, let's
know.
start with you.
I don't know. I just heard somebody give a Glucky to their mic, so I don't know what's going on here. But Joe Flacco beat and all the Kenny haters. They can be quiet now. That's it. Going into next year, everybody's saying, "Oh, Pick was a bust. Never should have drafted Kenny." We'll see you next year, guys.
You think Sam Howell's a better rookie quarterback than Kenny Pickett, Roberts? Care to comment?
Nah, I'm just happy the pitchers and catchers are reporting here soon. So
No, no. I mean, we still got the Penguins. I mean, but you look at the whole draft class. Sam Howell getting the start today. What's his name? Malik Willis can't even play over Josh Dobbs. I mean, it's
no, you're
shaping.
not. They don't even trust him to throw the ball.
It's shaping up to be a pretty weak quarterback class, I think, from this year. I mean, honestly, your top three quarterbacks are probably Kenny Pickett, Brock Purdy, and Zappy from New England. Those are the three that look the best. I mean, Malik Willis doesn't look, any good. I can't say that. It's way too early, but didn't show much. Desmond Ritter, jury's still out on Sam Howell, and Matt Corral missed the whole year. So, a weak draft class, it makes you look back and think, did the Steelers reach a little bit? Maybe, but I honestly don't think that they did. There's people that'll make the argument, but to get Pickett where they did and have their choice of quarterbacks, I think they did make the right choice.
And we were potentially, I guess, not a year ago, but say 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, I guess you'd say that the Steelers would have ended up with Malik Willis. You can't really tell if he's really that bad yet. I feel like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, is the Titans line bad? Because it feels like he's just running for his life every time I watch him
Taylor
play.
Lewan's out. He got hurt. They have some injuries there on the offensive line, so that's going to happen.
He's also playing in a run-dominant offense, so
yeah,
he's not really going to throw the ball.
Yeah, when you got Derrick Henry, he's your big weapon. But
the targets, Robert Woods.
We knew it was a weak draft class for quarterbacks. Yeah, everyone said that leading up to the draft. They've been hit or miss. You haven't had that class like the year Josh Allen was drafted. There was quite a few good studs.
Wentz.
Yeah, there were some studs in that class. And you haven't had a class like that. Even this class coming up, I think they made the right choice. You just see the poise and the moxie that Kenny plays with, especially late in games too, and in final drives. But ultimately, I think you look back at the beginning of the year and you realize how important every game is in an NFL season. You only get 17 games, even if they started 2-6, finished 7-2. But a few of those early games, the Jets game, the Miami game,
the Patriots,
even Baltimore the first time. I mean,
I think if Pickett doesn't get hurt, they win that game.
There's like I told my buddy Bruno today, if they start instead of 2-6, 3-5, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you win just one of those games, they probably should have the Jets game, the Miami game. I think if Pickett plays the entire game against Miami, they win that one. I know he threw a couple picks late, but they were in it. And Mitch didn't play very well in that game. So somber, but it just shows that if you don't win them games early, and everyone says, "Oh, there's a lot of season left," but you see what happens. You don't hold your fate in your hands. You gotta rely on people like Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
it just ain't gonna happen.
And
the stars aren't gonna align all the time.
I'm gonna get my 2 cents off too. Off my chest here. I don't like. It was a strong finish to the season, and I like 7-2. I did not expect that. I'll be honest. But for fans complaining that they didn't make the playoffs and complaining about the Jets, if you're a fan of a team, like I wanted that to happen as much as the next guy, but you don't leave your playoff hopes in another team's hands. You win your games and you don't worry about that. But at the end of the day, I don't think it was a lost season at all. I mean, obviously they went over 500, which nobody expected after the 2-6 start. Offensively, Kenny Pickett grew. I think he matured throughout the year. They have two great running backs, I think, with Najee and Jalen.
Young too, young.
You got the young skill positions. I'll go Pickens, Freiermuth, and even Connor Hayward. The last few games he's had a decent role and he's produced. So you still have the players on that side of the ball. And then defensively, it's one of the highest paid defenses, and they really stepped it up in the second half. The secondary with Minka, Cam Sutton, Levi Wallace
KZ looked good.
KZ looked good. So here's the question I have now. Offensively, I'd say you definitely draft line and wide receiver. I think those are the two positions. I think if you have to take someone in the later rounds. I'm not saying up top. You have to.
Well, you got to think they still have Sims looked good.
Yeah.
I like Sims. So you have Sims, Deontay. You still have him under contract. You have
Austin.
Pickens. What about
Austin.
the kid that
Yeah.
he didn't even play. He didn't even dress this year. So I think you're good there. You got to take guys that are 6'7", 300 pounds, and that's your first three picks. I understand maybe in the later rounds because they do find them gems.
That's what I'm saying.
Antonio Browns and guys like that. They do draft receivers late, and they do produce. They turn out well, but I think they're fine at their receiver core right now.
So here's the argument I'm making. Offensive line, I'd say left tackle is the number one priority. That's what you go for. You need that for Pickett. But if you're in the later rounds and you're the Steelers and you have a big-bodied receiver on the board with potential, I don't see how you pass that up, because you could have a guy like that easily replaces a Miles Boykins, Gunnar Olszewski kind of. I'm not talking about.
You taking like a fifth, sixth rounder?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, because by that time you should have three hogs, and then maybe even one on the defensive side too. You're going to need a hog on the defensive side as well. Your first four rounds.
So and here's the other thing, they're not, I don't think they keep Sims and Austin because they're the same player. If you have Sims, Austin, and Gunnar, that's three of the same player with the same skill sets. I think you need that big bodied receiver, even though Pickens, is a deep threat downfield. I mean, he's looking like he's going to be a stud receiver. Yeah, but someone like a Martavis Bryant, where I've talked about this before, a guy that can take the top off of defense, where you can kind of free up Pickens and it allows the offense to flow. I think if you have a later round pick where you can kind of snag that kind of guy, I think you take the flyer on that.
I see that. I just don't like that player. He's one dimensional, just like a Deshaun Jackson or I guess
in the right offense, they're effective.
Yeah, I get it, because then you're taking double coverage off your number one and stuff like that, and you can kind of dink and dive. But I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, but offensively, though, obviously there's not much of a need outside the line.
Yeah, just line.
And defensively, I'm worried about the secondary next year.
I will tell you this, minus is it Dan Moore who plays the left or other than him, I think they ran the ball effectively too in the second half of the season. They kept Kenny pretty much upright.
Yeah.
So you can't complain too much about this weak link that we thought was an offensive line, but I think that they can improve there, and they need to improve there.
I mean, they definitely gelled. Dan Moore's obviously the weakest link, but I thought the guard positions, I thought Dotson came on strong. James Daniels, I think, was their best lineman. Chucks was solid, and Mason Cole, he was battling injuries all year, but he was serviceable. I mean, obviously you're not gonna get a Marquise Pouncey coming in, but I mean, it's not like he was getting blown up too much. He had his spots, like any lineman does, where you get pushed back, you look bad. But I think you get the left tackle. But defensively, I think there's going to be a lot that they need to draft. The defensive line's getting older. Tyson's probably going to retire. He'll be gone.
Yeah.
Cam Hayward's going to be another year. Wormley's going to be coming off a torn ACL. So that's a major.
You bring Ogunjobi back, because he was only on a 1-year deal.
I think they have to him back. So that's one I think that maybe they'll, if they
middle linebacker.
Yeah, inside linebacker, I think is going to be a big spot. That I think we've seen the last of him in Pittsburgh. Miles Jack didn't really impress me too much.
No.
He wasn't the playmaker like he was in Jacksonville. And then, it's Bobby Spillane, Marcus Allen. That doesn't excite. Spillane's whatever.
He'll get you out of bed.
He's a special teamer. He plays well. He can't. Mark Robinson will be there. I think you need a guy on the outside behind Highsmith and Watt that you can rotate in. They trade for Malik Reed. He didn't do too much this year. He was a healthy and active, I believe, these last two games. But the one I'm worried about is, you guys remember a couple years ago when Mike Hilton signed with the Bengals and they kind of lost that slot corner. I'm hoping that doesn't happen this year with Cam Sutton. I'm worried that he'll get more money from another team and the Steelers will lose him because he's one of the most underrated corners in the league. And I'm kind of worried about that. I don't trust Levi Wallace. I mean, Witherspoon, I'm not saying I don't trust him, but as a number one, I wouldn't want Wallace as the number one. And then Kella Witherspoon, hurt most of the year. So I think you need to make the priorities to re-sign Sutton, Ogunjobi, and if Edmonds, I mean, he's solid. Bring him back if it's on a friendly deal. Don't overpay for that, though. I like KZ.
Yeah, I agree with Dan. I think first and foremost, you need the big boys. I think that's the biggest thing. But I do want to say that the line did come together well over the course of the season. I mean, it was an absolute garbage dumpster fire that first, probably I'd say six-ish weeks, 6, 7, then around that mark. I mean, today they ran the ball all over the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they have a pretty decent defensive line, right? Myles Garrett ain't that bad. So, I don't know. I feel like even last game they did pretty well against the Ravens. So, I mean, it could be better. So at least we know that the defensive line is being coached properly, and that if we have like proper pieces, that it could potentially even get better. So, hope they draft some big boys up front. Also corners, like Andrew said, but corners have never really been the strong suit in drafting in Pittsburgh. So I'm not optimistic about that at all.
See, this year, I mean, I think that gamble's going to happen. Colbert's not the GM anymore. They got Andy Waddle, who came over from the Eagles, Omar Khan, and Waddle's more of, like Dan's talked about, the player personnel type. So, where they're going to be picking at, I think Parrish Johnson, excuse me, he's going to be off the board, left tackle. Peter Skronsky from Northwestern. Those are, I think, the top two guys. If they're there, I'm sure they'll take one. But they're going to have their choice of corners where they might be in that spot to take Christian Gonzalez from Oregon, Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State. There's going to be a couple corners that might be there where they're going to be definitely tempted to take them. And I don't think they're going to be reaching as much because another thing that we talked about, the Chase Claypool trade turned out phenomenal for the Steelers. They're going to have a 32nd pick. Yep. So the Steelers have 3 really good picks to start off. And whenever you look at playmakers, I mean, they have a really good chance they built a lot this year with the young guys. And like you said, Ryan, Pat Meyer did a great job, I think, with the offensive line. In years past, after Mike Munchak left, you saw more of a regression or no progress at all with the offensive line. I think we saw progress this year. And now you have the opportunity to really load up on some rookies that'll be on team-friendly deals that will allow you to spend more in places where you need to. So this is shaping up to be, a really exciting offseason, I think, for the Steelers to keep building around Pickett, Watt, all those guys.
I mean, you saw the stat today, the only offensive line core in the NFL to play all 17 games with the same 5 players. So, I mean, another name me and my dad were talking about was the center from Minnesota. You know what I mean? 65-game starter. You saw Linderbaum for the Ravens. He's going to be a staple in that offensive line, just like who was the right guard they had there? I can't think of his name. He played there forever.
Not Marshall Yonda, was it? That retired.
It was Marshall Yonda. Yes,
then he went to the Ravens, right?
Yeah,
he was always on the Ravens.
It's just like you need to. I think you have to go. I mean, I understand you want to go corner first if there's not your guy there from left tackle. Yeah. Which Dan Moore, he's not good. He's not. But is he serviceable? Can you throw him out there and say, hey, go play a game for us? Yeah. But if you want a star, you go left tackle. But if he's not on the board, I think you go defensive tackle, in my opinion. I think you go. But the only one that jumps off the paper is Brian Brees from Clemson. That's the only one that's not. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he was on their board. People were saying that's the one they got to go. But he'll be gone by 10. So,
yeah. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry to jump in, and I know that we're looking ahead here, and at the draft because a lot of things need to shape up. Because so the Texans ended up getting the number 1, right? Okay,
yeah, they won.
The Bears got it.
The Bears got the number 1. So here's the thing: that shakes up a lot of stuff because now they're going to trade back because they're going to want to stick it out with Fields. So then that kind of screws the Texans because they want one of them. They want C.J. Stroud or they want Bryce Young. So there's going to be a lot of jostling going on. So when we get down to the first round of the draft, a lot of guys that are on like Mel Kiper's board to be off, they could still be there the way that things are going to jostle out and all these trades. There's going to be a lot of trading on draft day coming up, and it's going to be exciting. And like you said, Andrew, I understand. I think if PC Jr. is there, I think they take him because Mike Tomlin's a big Joey Porter guy. And I would understand it. I wouldn't agree with it, but I would understand it because you do need that lockdown corner. He's got the size too. He's a bigger guy. He's a bigger corner. What is he, like 6'3"?
6'2".
6'2". He's a bigger corner. Corners normally aren't over 6 foot. So I would understand it, but I would rather see them take a hog or two. Either side of the ball, you're going to need it. But like you said, this is shaping up to be an exciting offseason. And if you look at it, you're going to have a lot of these young guys, and they're very talented. And this team's going to be young, and they're going to be competitive for years because they're already competitive. And they're going to be on team-friendly deals. So maybe you could, spend in free agency or give a guy, keep a guy like a Sutton because, hey, we got a little bit more money here. And you also got to think the cap's going to explode next year. It's going to go up. I got to look it up because I don't want to give false numbers, but it's tens of millions of dollars. It's a lot. And then the year after that too.
So I've been doing a lot of the PFF mock drafts just to see what kind of players will be around there. So right now, for just ballparking it, say the Steelers would be around 18, right?
That's what they are. I think they're locked in at 18 now officially.
Where were they last year? Like 20?
20, yeah.
So right now, the top guys that would be there available, just already Parrish Johnson Jr. is off the board, Jordan Addison, Jalen Jones, the corner. There's a couple corners, Brees, tight end Michael Mayer, which they're not going to go with. No quarterbacks. So really, the first kind of guy there will be like Broderick Jones, tackle from Georgia, Trenton Simpson, linebacker Clemson. So there's a lot of edge guys that will be there. So I'll just for the sake, I'll say they go Broderick Jones, right? They get the tackle. You're at the 32 pick, and you have Joey Porter Jr. still there as the best available. Would you be if they took a left tackle and then
No, not at all.
I think that would be good.
If they did it that way, if you take a left tackle first and then Peasy Jr. is still there at the 32nd because that's only a few picks away. It's not very. The 32nd pick that's
a first rounder because
it's still
fitted, yeah.
So if they did it that way, I'm completely fine with it. I almost think that you need the pedigree of a first round offensive lineman on your team. That's my belief because you have all these guys that were picked in the later rounds. Look at Kendrick Green. The most time that I saw him today, he was dapping up Najee Harris after he scored. He's in his street clothes. So you see that you can't draft these high pedigreed offensive linemen later rounds. It just barely works out. And they don't have a really good track record at drafting corners. We've discussed that. So I think if they go that route, I'm cool with that. That's fine. Because then you come back again. Here's another thing. If they're not dead set on a guy, and let's say Peasy's going to be there at 32, do you fall back even further and maybe get a couple more picks like in the early second?
Listen, if a team's looking to trade up for a quarterback, we see that action all the time. There's going to be Tanner McKee, Anthony Richardson. There's going to be 3 or 4 quarterbacks that'll still be available, most likely in the mid-first round. If you're the Steelers and teams are trying to jump up to get the guy they want, I think if you don't have the guy that you think's going to be like the cornerstone left tackle for Pickett or something like that, you trade down 2 picks and you acquire draft capital. That's phenomenal. Right. You still have 3 high picks. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So sorry, I just got a follow-up question to that. So if that is you're okay with them going that route, if they would see, now I forgot go ahead, Ryan.
Let's say like a scenario that we might have, the Dolphins are a few picks ahead of us now. So Tua, if he's done, they might need a quarterback, jump up a little bit. And whoever's between them and the Steelers, if they think they're going to take a quarterback, I mean, one of those situations where they give us a little something.
Sure, we'll take Tyreek Hill. Sure.
That's what I was going to ask. Who behind us really needs a quarterback? I don't have.
Let me bring up the draft again.
The only team I think that makes a huge, and I mean blockbuster trade, is Vegas. And I
The
think
Raiders.
Vegas.
Yep.
I think Vegas goes all out. They've already said we're going to spend money. They've already spent money this offseason, the year before. I think they say, hey, we'll give the house, the kids, the wife, everything they got for the number 1 pick.
Yes.
I think Carr, Adams, like no one's safe. Honestly, Jacobs, no one's safe.
I think Adams is safe. I really do.
No.
But I do, because then who are you gonna have Bryce Young or CJ Stroud throw it to?
Well,
I
Josh
think
Jacobs is going to get paid. He's going to get paid.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Yep,
They
gonna
didn't
get
pick up his
paid.
5th year, so that was my question, and it did slip my mind till Ryan said something about the Dolphins. Who behind us would need to move up that we could fall back?
All right.
Well,
so I'm gonna lock.
I think it's the Dolphins, but I'm gonna take a little quick look see just to make sure because
that's what I was going to
I think
say.
it's
You
only
look
the
at
Dolphins.
who's the 7 seed this year.
Buccaneers don't, right?
The Buccaneers.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
But they
Tom's gonna be done.
like Kyle Trask though. They do like
Yeah.
Kyle Trask there.
From Florida, right? Florida
Yeah,
guy.
he's been in and out of the line. Oh, Coyotes.
Vikings maybe? Vikings?
They're
Kirk
gonna-
Cousins?
They're gonna roll with Kirk. So
Who
realistically,
they got after that?
realistically, the teams behind the Steelers that might trade up, because you'd have, I
The
think
Jets?
Tampa, the Jets, I think roll with Wilson for another year. I'd say the Commanders maybe.
Okay.
I'd say it'd be Tampa and Washington, depending on how everything shakes out, because you'll have the Chargers, the Giants, the Ravens will be all set.
The Broncos?
The 40,
Carolina's going to win one, but they're ahead of the Steelers. So it's,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's
Seahawks. Geno Smith. You think they're rolling with Geno?
They wrote him off. He didn't write back.
But you think like how many average years does Geno Smith have? Average at best years. That's a
Just this
ticking
one.
time. If I'm honest,
this
that's
one.
a ticking
yeah,
time.
but then these in the other card we haven't been playing is you say you don't go for a quarterback this year. Look at next year's. Caleb Williams, you know what I mean? Like who else is there? I'm trying. There's 2 elite quarterbacks that are like.
And the
can't
Lions and Packers too. Lions and Packers, right?
Lions are still going to run Jared Goff. I
Yeah,
think
Goff.
Jared Goff
Yeah.
is.
And
there.
they're actually talking about maybe paying him. He had a really
Ryan,
good year.
Ryan, you were quarterback once, though, right?
Few days on the playground.
All right.
Their
So
football.
here's what you figure for quarterbacks this year, right? Bryce Young is going to be a top pick. A team's going to take Will Levis because he is a cannon, which whatever. After that, you'll have a CJ Stroud. I'd say those are the top 3. And then you have like a Tanner McKee from Stanford, Anthony Richardson from Florida. So there's realistically probably 5 guys right there that, you'll see in the first round. So 5 quarterbacks I'm betting will go first round this year. Not all of them going to be high, but I think there's the potential for 5. And obviously, whenever workouts and everything like that go on, there's going to be people falling in and out. But say, just for argument's sake, 5 QBs, 3 in the top 10, maybe I'd say 3.
Wow. You just look at it from last year. Last year, there was 1 in the first round, and we took him. And I know that they said that last year's class was weak, but nobody excites me out of this class either. But somebody will fall in love with somebody. It happens all the time. But I'm glad that the Steelers fell in love with Kenny. I really am, because as the year went on, he progressed and he showed that I think he's more than serviceable. I think he's more than a game manager. I think he's more than a Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr. I really do. I think he's better than Joe Flacco.
Okay, that was where my ceiling was. I'm edging a little more than that. I've seen he's got that playmaker ability.
True.
I'm not saying that he's a Patty Mahomes, Josh Allen.
No.
I think his ceiling right now, from what we've seen. So you put, you have Mahomes, Allen, who's a third quarterback you want to put up there. You want to put Rodgers up there?
Burrow.
Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
I don't even think Joe Burrow's on their level. Let's just say those guys are 1A.
Lamar?
No,
Jalen Hurts?
I don't think
Jalen
Lamar's
Hurts?
up there.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is
Let's
Jalen
put
Hurts
those
is
3
going
up there, right?
Absolutely.
So you have them at the S tier. The next tier down, I think that's Kenny
Or-
Pickett's ceiling.
Are we going to have to do our next Youngzers ranking of NFL quarterbacks?
We
Yeah,
might have
I'll do
That
it.
might have
But-
that might have to be the next on the Twitter.
But I think that's where you have Kenny Pickett right now, from what we've seen in this short period of time that he got to play this year. I know he had some injuries, he had a couple bad games, but I feel like he's learned and he's getting up to the speed of the game. And like they say with the speed of the game, it's not just because the guys are faster or anything. It's the windows to make completions are so minute because guys make up for, with their speed. And they can get to a ball faster. So I think that and also let's see if we get a new offensive coordinator. He's with them throughout the offseason. You don't think so? You think Matt Canada's back again? See, I was afraid of that, but it also shows that Kenny's playing pretty well in his system.
Yeah. I don't know where I'd put him yet. I'm not going to disrespect him and say like C or like D tier. I'm not an idiot. I mean, you know me. But I just don't know if I'd put him in A yet. I'd have to see the other quarterbacks and see where I'm putting everybody else. I mean, I could. I might. But
You're not
I just
an
think it's
idiot.
too small of a sample size. But that's also like what I'd go against too, because he is what we thought he was, the most NFL ready quarterback in the draft class. And we have seen him just following him all year, that ability to learn and grow at a pretty quick level compared to the other quarterbacks that were playing this year, which was just Malik Willis, but not even that much.
I mean, Brock Purdy looked good, I think, and Zappy from New England. Those two, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, for a 7th-round pick, tell me he didn't look.
I understand, but that
Yes.
like you look at San Fran though, they are elite at every
there's a
position.
lot
And, like,
of
talent.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's
obviously.
like look at their
Put me
line
behind
compared to
that,
ours.
I'm
Yeah,
all
that's what I
for
mean.
that.
Like
Look at the weapons. I understand if you put CMC up against Najee, which one are you going to take?
Excuse me, Dan.
You put Debo up against Deontay. Who are you going to take?
That's BS.
Exactly. No.
You put me,
Kenny Pickett has Gunnar Olszewski and Derek Watt to go to.
but you put me under
Exactly.
center in San Francisco.
Exactly.
that's
That's what
Put
I'm
me
saying.
under center in San Francisco, and I'm clinking glasses at the Pro Bowl with Derek Watt as a substitute. That's all I'm saying.
That team is the only team that I think gives Philly a run for their money out of the NFC. I really do. And I think Philly they're rolling.
They're legit.
They're a hot team. They're a scary team. And Jalen Hurts showed them that everybody was wrong about them. And I love that.
And just another reflection on the Steelers season, even because you just brought up the Eagles. The Steelers really only got rolled by 3 teams, and that was the Bills, the Eagles, and the Bengals. And I'd say those are 2 elite teams and 1 fringe, elite Bengals.
All 3 of those teams, in my eyes, Super Bowl contenders. They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
One was just there. One was just there.
Yep.
You
And
can
the other
roll your
one
eyes all you
lost
want.
they all
you-
lost to each other.
You
Yeah.
can roll your eyes all you want, and they lost on the last play of the game.
I mean, I'm not saying the Bengals aren't. I'm just saying, like, for this year's sake, I think it's either Buffalo or Kansas City coming out of the AFC. I mean, Cincinnati, I think, is the 3rd best team. They're not a bad team. They're a really good team. But I think they had a little magic last year, Burrow. Their defense seems to have taken a little step back this year, which I don't think helps them. But I'm not saying they're not elite because they're right up there. I just don't think that they can match up with Buffalo or Kansas City this year. That's why I'm saying that. I'm not arguing that though.
Just like, look at the weapons that Kansas City added midseason. Like they have Ronald Jones just on their bench. You know what I mean? Jerick McKinnon, came in and they were like, oh, this guy's gonna be our 3rd down back, our wide. Like, he's getting most of the snaps. You know what I mean? Like it's just that place is so hard to play. And the whole, we saw the whole playoff situation, a coin flip here and or there. It sucks, but it happens. You know what I mean?
Joe Mixon's an asshole, by the way.
Yeah, that's
Doing the coin flip, like,
Yeah.
read the room. Read the room. Joe.
Here's my question to you guys. I understand the Steelers season is what it is. It's in the books. 2022 is done. Finished 9-8?
9-8.
9-8.
No losing season. Let's say the Jets beat the Dolphins, correct? Hypothetically, let's just get this out here. We're going on the road to watch them play the Buffalo Bills in a wild card game. Honestly,
Call
Give
me
it to me
crazy.
straight. Would you rather watch that or just be happy with the season we had? Because you know what? We have 3 playoff wins in 12 years.
Yeah,
You ain't getting one this year. So I'm gonna
I agree.
take what I can. It was a good season after the halfway point. I didn't want to see him get shellacked because it was gonna happen.
No, like you just said, I love seeing the progress they made. And who knows? I mean, they played way better after Chase Claypool got traded. Yeah. I'm
I
not
think
I'm not connecting dots here, but like you said, I'd rather see them build off that, Dan. You know, they're not gonna get ruled in Buffalo, so they have a better whatever, 1 or 2 picks up. It's still a better first round pick that you have. And now, you know, you can go into the full off season, you know, you don't have to worry about that. I mean, would love to see them in the playoffs. Realistically, they get rolled by Buffalo.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's what it's going to happen to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They're going to get
Yeah.
rolled.
Yeah.
The
That's
Dolphins are
gonna
gonna
be
get
bad.
killed.
Which
They
I
don't.
don't
Even,
care
they might
who's
not have
playing the
anybody.
quarterback.
Yeah, they might not even have anybody. Like they at the end of the game today, they had Waddle and Tyreek Hill like limping off. People helping them off the field. They might not have anybody to play in that game.
And Teddy and Tua have like scrambled eggs. So
Yes.
yeah, we can go back to that.
Crayons.
They may look at a quarterback this year.
It's possible.
They've got to have the worst, like, I guess, how do you call that? Like, body, I don't know, like breakability or whatever of quarterback. Durability. I don't know. I was looking for that word. Yeah.
1,000 concussions each in their career. I mean, that's not a good recipe for success. And then you're leaning on Skylar Thompson, who was a rookie quarterback this year, but he ain't doing anything. You know,
He was horrible.
Yeah,
That game was terrible to watch.
When you know it's bad, when I think it was Boomer on CBS after the post game
he was roasting him.
He's like, this might have been the worst game of this year. Like
I told that to Andrew. I was like,
if not this year,
yeah,
for the last 10 years, it was so bad. And I just happened, the Steelers were pretty much done with their game. I think there's like 3 minutes left, and I flipped it over. I looked at Amanda. I was like, "Let's see what," because there was like 24 seconds left, and the Jets are down 3. And I flip it over. I was like, "Well, this game's over." And then Boomer saying that's just they're gonna go to Buffalo and get destroyed. It'll be over in the first half, first quarter maybe.
Absolutely, 100%. And you talk about this is just a little tangent here. Announcers, Boomers talking about that. I told Ryan this was my Demon Hours podcast. I've been waiting to unload on the city of Cleveland. The dog pound turned it back into dog shit this year. Go back to your shanties in Ohio. Your legendary quarterback, Bernie Kosar, just got fired because he put a $19,000 bet on the Browns to beat the Steelers today. So Bernie's out of a job and about 20 grand. Shout out to him. You can go on go back and you can hang out Tim Couch, Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, every shitter you
No relation.
I'd hide that too for you. Charlie Fry, Deshaun Kaiser, Derek Anderson. Your franchise is shit. You're a poverty city. Thumbs down. I'm giving them the Roberts. This is my one of the day.
You know what? I'm going to add to that.
Yeah.
One sec. Since you were rolling, I'm going to get rolling here too. You can disgrace the terrible towel, and people know what happens. Ask TJ Husmann-Zada. Ask anybody in the Ravens. You put that goddamn Browns jersey on Mr. Rogers ever again, and they'll be hell to pay.
That was bullshit. Yeah. Oh yeah. You put Mr. Rogers getting ripped apart basically by a pit bull, whatever the hell you want to call your shitty mascot. You got Cleveland. You got to read the room. You can't be taking shots.
It's a fucking mutt.
Players.
It's a mutt.
It's a mutt. You have a mutt going after one of America's most beloved TV personalities, and Mr. Rogers. I mean, come on. You're getting rolled by. You just got rolled by Kenny Pickett. Get the hell out of here.
Whoa.
Oh,
Fun fact about Mr.
That's
Rogers.
not even the worst part.
Go ahead.
Derek Watt scored a touchdown on it. That's got to be a lot worse. Wasn't it? Did he have the other touchdown this year against them? Was that the first game?
No, he scored against was it Miami the first drive against Miami, I think.
Yeah.
No, because I witnessed touchdown. Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
That's when I was in Florida.
It was when Claypool threw it to Derek Watt.
And then then we got jag-offs in our Twitter mentions, specifically one from Cleveland, talking shit this week on us. We don't even respond. Ryan gets on him after we win. He's like, "Oh, you're not in the playoffs either, buddy. You weren't even in the hunt. Get the hell out of here. You go into your city, you have to go through an 1850s coal miner town to get to your downtown. Your biggest claim is you're by a lake. Congratulations, Cleveland. You know,
One of our worst seasons in my memory is still better than your best season
yeah.
in my memory. So come on now, Cleveland. You're trash of the AFC North. You're trash of the AFC. You're trash of the NFL. Just, you know what? Your owners should up and leave in the middle of the night. Oh, wait, they already did once to you. They should do it again to you. Maybe
Yeah.
take them over. I don't know. Go over to Wisconsin or something. No, Green Bay's over. Take them to I don't
Idaho.
know.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Dakotas. One Dakotas.
Yeah, let's get them out of
Dakota.
Cleveland. Nothing good in Cleveland. Cleveland sucks.
Look,
I got Cleveland
you know,
shirt out a troll a little bit too. I got the Cavs on, just for the record. Little troll.
that's it, though. The only thing I want to touch on is I saw people saying if they had TJ Watt, you know what I mean, healthy, you know what I mean, it makes a huge difference. I get that now though. Like we were talking about it, doesn't you know what I mean, rest him, you know. If he plays even 2 of those games, you know what I mean? You saw it today.
Yep.
When he's elite, that makes Highsmith that much better. That makes it's sucks. You know what I mean? Injuries happen. It always does. That's what our season.
Would they have 6, 7 sacks today? I mean,
7, yeah.
Deshaun Watson was, you could see him complain to the officials a couple times. Oh, you don't like being touched, Deshaun? Little,
At least by men.
yeah, a little reality check for you, huh? You don't like that?
Last week, I gave a bunch of numbers about how much better that defense is with him in there. And just go ask Bud Dupree. I've said it many times. I'll keep saying it. He better send TJ Watt money every Christmas. Hey, thanks for getting me paid down here.
Yeah.
He's just that good.
I'm just fired up right now for no reason. You know, I said this during the game. Deshaun Watson, you paid $250 million for the football version of Bill Cosby. That's what you did, Cleveland. That's your claim to fame. Yeah, Dan, I said it. I don't give a rat's ass. That's what they did.
Oh,
I don't care.
Perk Crosby.
Also, Derek Watt's
Kirk
second
Cousins.
touchdown was against the Eagles. That was the Eagles. Wasn't that on like Thanksgiving weekend? Or no?
Yeah, well, that's early in the season.
it was an early.
that was
I remember it was an
Halloween.
early game.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Okay.
Because I remember Jason Kelsey coming out and had his Batman mask on, kind of like Roberts did at the beginning of this pod.
The hero of the pod deserved.
Look at him, he's so mad. Come on, bud.
Feel like I don't say it. Anyways, I don't know. That's it. Steelers. They got a good stepping stone here, I should say, for next season. I think they're gonna roll with this energy going here. They got a lot of, you know what I mean, up and coming players. A lot of players that took a big step. I think Highsmith takes another big step. He's gonna have to get paid here soon.
Yeah.
Jalen Warren, you found a gem in Jalen Warren. Connor Hayward came out. You know what I mean? You saw what he could do maybe today. Fryermuth, that didn't look too good though. You know what I mean? Coming off the field. Hopefully it's not something serious. But I think Casey, they found a gem in Casey on the defensive side.
He said him and Edmund said they want to come back next year. So
That's what I
they
mean.
take a little less money. I say do it.
I like that they brought Edmonds back this year because I don't think you were going to be able to replace him with anybody else. And he knows the system and he plays it well.
Yeah.
Ogunjobi, we already said it earlier.
Bring him back. Yep.
And
then
yeah, Connor Hayward today had one of the rare 1-2 punches where he caught that ball over the middle, and as he was coming down, absolutely tore that guy's shit from the Browns. So that's
Tore shit.
2 for 1.
Johnson,
If we see anybody get hurt, that's just for trolling purposes right there.
real quick before we jump off of them, I just wanted to say, you see how good Najee is when he's healthy. He was not healthy at the beginning of the year.
No.
He was running hard. Did you see him plant Myles Garrett? I know he was tackled for was it a loss or maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage, but he planted that guy. And Myles Garrett wears sleeves every game because if he doesn't, he gets drug tested. So for Najee, he grabbed him and he planted that guy. I'm excited to, like you said, War with Warren, and you got the 1-2 punch there. And if they could get a couple hogs, I'm not going to be overexcited for next year. I will be excited for next year as long as they get the right pieces. But I'm not the guy that's going to sit here and be like, oh, we drafted perfectly, Super Bowl or bust. It's not super. I want to see a damn playoff win before I say, hey, we're contenders. We won't even be contenders until we get that playoff win. So until next year, Steelers.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It was a great year. We're coming up on my favorite season, mock draft season. I'm gonna be doing some research this year.
Todd. Mel Kiper.
Cool.
I talked to 3 executives, 2 scouts, and 1 parent, and they said that Bryce Young will be going number 1 to the Houston Texans. Mel Kiper's in his pipe.
Mel Kiper's big board. I do like mock draft season because then you see how off he is sometimes.
Oh yeah, it is. I'm stating this right now. Put it on the record. I will get more first round picks correct than Mel Kiper this year. I'm
timestamp
gonna
that.
Do a challenge like everyone under.
Yeah,
make that a short because we're gonna blast that everywhere.
I'm coming for you, Mel Kiper. That slick back hair, you pumpkin pie eating weirdo. I'm coming right for you, buddy. You better watch it. You better watch it. Yeah.
Also, hold on, I forgot to say. Yeah, final thoughts on the Steelers from me. I'm kind of the same boat as Dan. I don't really believe they're going to be contenders next year, or until they do get that playoff win or show that they can win a big game like that. But I'm just going to be more optimistic that we're going to see better football next year. Better, consistent football. I think that's what we're looking for next year. We're not looking for that, that title run yet. That's not us yet.
No.
Second year QB, pretty young team still. The defense is getting old, and that's going to be trouble soon. I think before we even become contenders. But I'm just looking for better football. Less stressful moments. But I'm staying optimistic about it. We'll have a good draft, I believe.
Yeah.
Roberts, anything?
Nope.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's it.
No, I think you said everything right. I think if we get some more consistent football next year, I think we'll all be happy.
Yeah, more enjoyable. Like we shouldn't have half the season where we're like cursing them out, like we were early in the season. But
yeah,
I think it'll be all right.
And if we play the whole season like we did the second half this year, I think we'll have more fun next year. We'll be higher spirited.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have to touch on left is we look at the AFC North. Joe Burrow is going to be a consistent player in Cincinnati. There ain't no guarantee that Lamar Jackson is going to be playing in Baltimore. So
no.
And Cleveland's always going to be Cleveland. You know what I mean? So like
Lamar to Miami.
Ryan did say he'd like to see it in that teal blue.
It looked good in Miami teal. The 305.
Mr. He does seem like a player that would go down there with Tyreek Hill. Those two
Tyreek, yeah.
Hey, Lamar, Tyreek, and Jalen Waddle.
Dolphins. Dude, I'd tune into the Dolphins every week if that was the case. That would be awesome.
That'd be the fastest show on turf.
Mm-hmm.
They're all quick.
But that's it. I mean, it's just consistency, though. Like, you know what I mean? We're going to probably be the highest, in all honesty, we're going to see the Steelers till Kenny takes that next step is probably 3 or 4 in the playoff hunt if we make the playoffs. Because you're not going to beat Josh Allen, you're not going to beat Patrick Mahomes.
It's be a wild card. Yep.
That's what I mean. So you're either going to be 3 or 4 every year.
Well, the only way I see that, I'm gonna argue that, is when their big deals kick in and they can't start divvying out money to other places, because that's what happens with like the Rodgers situation.
Yeah.
It never really happened with Brady too much because he always took a friendlier deal.
And that's why his wife left.
I mean, look at Mahomes though. Like, look at Tyreek. They couldn't pay Tyreek. You
Exactly.
know what I mean?
And then Kelsey, how much longer is he going to be there? I understand that you can get guys in, or you could do it like the Rams did, and you just buy a championship for a year, and then you have a really down year. I understand injuries happen there too, but that's what they say. If you get a good quarterback on a rookie deal or a friendly deal, you can win championships, and you could pile them in. So I don't know.
Mahomes?
I don't know if Kansas City and Buffalo are going to stay as elite just because those two guys are there.
I mean, me and Andrew said at the beginning of the year, you look at Buffalo's defense where it was when we, first episode when we said the NFL power rankings to now, you know what I mean? And God bless Damar Hamlin. I love the guy, you know what I mean? Glad he's doing all right again. But that defense is going like this. And you saw Mac Jones at the end of the game picking it apart. And
a lot of injuries. And that's what happens. You can't predict that. You know,
I think it's gone downhill since they lost Von Miller like early in the season. You know, that was a big piece for them. That was
Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. They had
even before that, their secondary was just destroyed. Yeah, destroyed by injuries. And that was when Micah Hyde get on, like week
beginning of the
6
season,
or 7.
I don't think he even.
I thought he did. I thought he was
early. Poyer.
I think week 2. I think week 1 or week 2 for Micah Hyde. Yeah,
Tre'Davious White was hurt, and then the guy they took, and was it the first round, Kyrie Elam? They take him in the first or the second? But rookie corner, he wasn't producing. So
James Jackson got hurt that Monday night game with that neck injury. So
yeah,
I don't know.
That's the nature of the game, though.
Yes. That's why.
Hang on.
They say in the salary cap era, it's the hardest thing to do is to win a Super Bowl.
I got one more. I'm using my card tonight. No twig and berries. I know you all saw it. Mitch Trubisky. Did you see what he said to that reporter? He regrets signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So
Mitch
early,
Trubisky.
Yeah.
No twig and berries.
You're gonna
loser.
They're gonna cut him. They're gonna cut him and save money. You regret coming here. You may as well just
what a loser.
Open the door.
What do you mean? Do you regret losing your job and stinking?
No, he said he regretted signing with the Steelers so early. So he didn't shop himself around a little more and try. But
you were such a valuable commodity, man.
No, at that point he was the number one. Everybody even said, "Oh, he's going to come walk in and he's going to start over Mason." But then you stink up the joint, and you think you still deserve your starting job because you stink up the joint. Nah,
I hate to break it to Mitch Trubisky, but your shit doesn't vex. So
I don't care that you had a newborn this year. I don't care. I'll still.
And he went to the worst university in history. So on to the next topic. Let's go.
All right, so let's talk Pirates here. I'm just going to do the Pirates update for this week. They had a hype video for 50-year-old Rich Hill. That is all you need to know about the state of the Pirates organization.
Kermit the Frog looking head ass. Yep.
Real quick, isn't the baseball Worlds coming up in March? We got Bedmore playing for United States. I mean,
Team USA.
Yeah. But did you see, is it Puerto Rico? How stacked that team is?
They fully Vasquez?
Oh my God. Hold up.
Oh, buddy, you can't be a nightmare out of prison. That's just a tough look. He's the Pirates' highest paid player this year, too.
Really? Again?
No, I don't know. He was last year. I'm almost positive.
World Baseball Classic.
I'd probably throw his money up to the cell room or something, like through the window. They're probably
another pack of ramen
baked in a cake.
His contract's baked in a cake.
The only thing I have on the Pirates is I don't know how we're going to have an hour-long pod having to talk about them for about 4 months until the Steelers come back.
I know I'm going to be at opening day. I'm just saying that. If we want to do like a Youngzers, trip to PNC for a day, hey.
What day is that?
Yeah, what day?
I think Friday, actually.
Is it a Friday? What time?
Yeah.
Yeah, what day? March? No, April?
April, yeah.
I was going to say I won't be here in March for a while.
Real quick, what ethnicity is plays third for the dog? Yeah. Manny Machado. What?
I think he's Dominican. I'm pretty sure.
Dominican. It's the Dominican team.
Oh yeah. Dominican Republic. Yeah, they have all those guys over there.
They're disgusting always.
Yeah, they're good.
I don't know, man. But the only thing I have is the Pirates offering. You know what I mean? Brian Reynolds. You know what I mean? You're only all-star. You know what I mean? You're going to offer him less money than Brian Hayes. That's a bad
face of the franchise. Yeah. O'Neal Cruz, I'd say, is the face of the franchise now.
Yeah. I'd say it's 45-year-old Rich Hill. Right throws 90 max.
They traded Bryce Wilson though. That's the other piece of news.
Who was the catcher they got?
Hedges. I weigh more than him. I mean, I weigh more than he hit.
How much does he weigh?
That's all you need to know. They did hype videos for Rich Hill and Austin Hedges.
Literally, and the guy that hit 186 pie. 186.
That's like me. He weighs as much as me. That's like putting me behind the diamond going like this.
Yeah, look at this guy.
You should have hype videos.
You don't put your other hand out there, my guy. What do you do to Kamehameha, huh? You DBZ.
Yeah.
It's one hand. It's one hand. It's one hand. Anywho, you guys want to hear this roster real quick?
Yeah.
For the Dominican Republic, Gary Sanchez, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Jose Ramirez, Jeremy Pena, Manny Machado, Starling Marte, Julio Rodriguez, and Juan Soto.
I'd throw
A wagon.
No.
A wagon. Yeah, buddy.
They play like honestly though, I think they play like don't they play like that stick ball in Dominican Republic? They literally have like a small stick and a ball. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll also do it with bottle caps too.
Yeah.
That's how they get so good because they
used to
play
play
with
back in
those
the day.
tiny things and they come to the MLB and they have like a giant stick. They're, oh, this is way bigger, and then they just absolutely mollywop the ball.
That Dominican team is a wagon.
That's what we saw last year. Jeremy Pena grew up in front of our eyes in the World Series. People hate the Astros. You know what I mean? Good for them if you hate them or not, but that kid's going to be a star.
That team knows how to scout and draft guys.
Yep.
The Astros,
I told this. Yeah, I did say this to everybody else except Roberts, but we might have to do another Youngzers randomizer for the MLB season. Everyone gets a team. That'd be cool.
Pirates. I'll be pissed if I get the Pirates.
But the thing I was saying was, would have to add a twist. Like, you have to guess your team's wins, and every number below or above, you'd have to like do something for. So like maybe I don't know, a mile per like win or something. So you're running like 10 miles.
Buddy, I couldn't run a mile right now.
I better hit it on the nose. I get the Buccos, I guess 60, and that's the time.
Billy
that's the time they'll go off for 100.
For the Pirates.
You're right. No,
taco every day.
Listen, the Pirates' top 3 signings would be a good team's minor league roster invitees for this year. That's basically the equivalent. Yeah, they're gonna be heading down to Bradenton, whatever. They're a Pittsburgh team. I still want to see them succeed, but the owner's a jackass and they suck. That's all.
I'll tell you right now. I got this last year, and you get one free refill. I'm surprised Spend Nutting let me get a free refill on it.
Yeah.
Jeez. I just stole $16 out of his pocket. How do you allow that to happen?
Way to go. That's why I couldn't afford hot dog buns.
You panicked, Dan.
Way to go, dude. Now you couldn't afford hot dog buns for Dollar Dog Night. Thanks a lot, Dan.
He saw free refill. I was like, shit, we got a fire sale at the deadline now. I'm never going to financially recover from this.
Did I ever tell you the story I went down there last year? I always try to take the boys to a game. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I choose snuff. So I'm walking past the Fatheads bar that they put out there in the outfield. I go, oh, let me get one of your plastic cups for a spitter. And she's like, no, we inventory all these. So we know how much inventory we have. I'm like, for a plastic cup. I said, okay. Walked away.
Yeah, they give you that cut, and suddenly they're killing off pierogies in the race. That's what's going to happen.
Potato Pete won't be running next year. Thanks, Dan.
No wonder we haven't seen Pizza Penny. Bob Nutting saw Dan going up to the soda machine and took her out before the 7th inning.
He's getting his second free refill now. Yeah.
Pokey Reister.
No, that's
Randall Simon.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, man. I don't know. Pirates, that's it, man. It's time for the team that's struggling right now.
Yeah, they're about to drop 7 in a row. Not looking good against the Phoenix Coyotes right now.
Yeah. They're tied with the Coyotes right now.
I thought it was 1-0.
No, Gensel just scored.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, I don't know. I haven't watched a game, honestly, since the Winter Classic, so.
Hey, the Penguins are up 2-0 or 2-1 now, Ryan. Gensel scored again, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Mine didn't update. Okay, whatever. Well, I don't know what to say. Penguins are struggling. I haven't watched a game in a week. It just didn't. Winter Classic kind of turned me off a little bit. I don't know. I didn't watch hockey. I've been watching a lot of college hoops. But what do you guys got to say?
They're a soft team. What I said last week, I'm not going to repeat again. They're just a bland team. They're a soft team, and something's got to give. That's all I got to say about the Pens right now. It's disappointing.
I think there's a big trade coming. I honestly do. I think me and my dad were trying to, but who are they going to, you know what I mean? What cap room do they have? What assets do they have? You know what I mean? They made it a big deal to have Malkin, Crosby, and Letang back. You know what I mean? It's bad to trade Malkin?
No, they're not going to trade any of those guys. I mean, the Kapanen deal sucks, but who's going to take him or Dumoulin? They have nobody that's making the money that they want to get rid of that teams want. That's the issue.
They don't have a dance partner at all, and that's the problem. That's why I think that Kapanen deal, it's their Achilles heel right now. because when you're healthy scratching that guy, it's terrible. They're soft, they're stagnant.
Young.
But this is what the team wanted. This is what all the fans in Pittsburgh wanted. This is what you're gonna get, and
But
it's the reality.
It's not the deals from Crosby, Malkin, Letang that are hamstringing him, though. It's the Kapanen deal. I mean, Dumoulin's contract, the way he's progressed, Jeff Carter. Those are the deals that are hamstringing him. And, that third line, when you have Kapanen and Heinen on the wings, is so soft. You could put Ryan and I out there and would be ragdolling.
Yes.
I'd be bending. My legs would be like this the whole time. But, I'd give it my all. I'd swing my stick at somebody, at least do something.
But here's the thing. You guys, we can make a line right here to go up against the Pittsburgh Penguins third line, and they wouldn't box us out of the blue paint, and we'd put up goals. I guarantee it. That'd be our office. It's a damn shame.
You give us no penalties, and we're allowed to do whatever we want. We're putting up goals. I'm spearing. I'm doing my thing.
I saw Jeff Carter's WAR. You know what WAR is? Wins above.
Something.
So it was like 15%. But it was like 15%. It's terrible. The fast nosedive that he's taken it's really hurting the Pens as well.
Player impact percentage. I saw it too. 15% for it. It's horrid.
Very bad. And he was good, solid in the faceoff dot too. I'm not saying that he's lost it there either, but 5-on-5, that third line is a liability.
Dude, I just saw something I saw on Twitter the other day. You know what a conspiracy? You know how I always bring up one conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? Every pod about a sport. I saw something in 2000. I think it was 2020, 2021. They got rid of Bud Light Platinum down at PPG Paints, and that's all Jeff Carter drank, and that's why he's going downhill.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Pound Bud Light Platinums. Hey. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's big Jeff Carter to you. That Penguins Jesus, big on the Bud Platinums.
Yeah, but no, like in hockey, if you're not a player that's like a Letang or a Crosby, where you're physically fit and you're really gunning for to keep active and fit and really training hard, when the wheels come off, they come off quick. It's boom. Look at Brian Dumoulin. Jeff Carter's kind of hung around, but this year it's been a nosedive. I mean, you see that with players, and it's what's happening. There's no way around it.
And we've said that in past pods too. Those you use Crosby and Letang as examples. They're freak athletes. When you think of freak athletes, you think like. In my mind, when I think of a freak athlete, it's not anybody else's norm. I think of John Jones. You know who John Jones is? UFC heavyweight champion. Freak athlete. And he's getting older, but he's still doing it. Or George St. Pierre. I think of like ultimate fighters when I think of a freak athlete. That's what you can compare Sidney Crosby and Chris Letang to. They're freak athletes, and they're going to keep that pedigree and their skill set in – everything's still going to be so much higher than everybody else's because they keep their bodies in shape. They're skating. Oh, hell. I think Crosby says he takes 2 weeks off in the offseason. That's it, and doesn't touch the ice. Other than that, so he's skating 50 weeks out of the year. He's staying on the ice. Same with Letang. Takes like 2 weeks off, maybe a month at the most. But then you got guys like Malkin. He'll take the entire offseason and won't touch the ice until 2 weeks before training camp.
Yeah.
And you see the decline in his play or such a slow start at the beginning of the year. So if you're not a freak athlete, like we've said before, you just nosedive. You hit that cliff, you kind of get there, kind of like Big Ben, right? Big Ben, you could see him kind of decline. Then he hit that cliff, boom, down, done. So it's tough.
It's been he's still a starting NFL quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but his decline from his Patriots play to the Buccaneers play, boom.
Yeah, nosedive. And it's I wouldn't say it's frustrating or anything. It's just sad to see, I guess would be the word. Upsetting because we grew up, 05, Sidney Crosby's drafted. That's all we've known. Almost 20 years of Sidney Crosby, and they've made the playoffs 16 consecutive years and sellout streaks and this and that, 3 Stanley Cups. And now it's almost like it feels like that drought between the 09 and then the back-to-back cups we won. It was just a long drought, and you knew that team was so good, but it's a different feeling now because you know that team isn't as good as it was.
So, yeah, it's a whole different vibe, and I'm going to steal Ryan's phrase here: "Father Time undefeated."
Mm-hmm.
What it is.
Yeah, I don't think that Father Time is undefeated. I just think the mentality of certain players are defeated. You know, like guys like Tom Brady, they've won everything. They've won what they've won. You know, they don't care where it goes. They've got their money. And I think it's guys like Malkin and Brady that are kind of the same. You know, he won in Tampa, and I think after that, he's just really like, all right, let's just play it out. I don't need to get any better. I don't need to do anything extra. Same with Malkin. He got 3 cups. He's won everything he's probably wanted to win. And then guys like that, they start families. You know, the game just doesn't become their first priority at a certain point.
I disagree with that example with Malkin because he is one of the most passionate players. He wants to win. He's had some unfortunate injuries that have set him back. But I do like what you said. Those last few Penguins Cup wins, they had those young guys that were hungry. You had the Gensels, the Rusts, those type of guys that weren't stars yet, but, they were playing on the bottom 6. They were coming in, they were producing, they were playing hard. The Penguins, they traded away most of their draft picks to get where they are. There's none of those young guys that are stepping up. They've whiffed on a lot of drafts. They got the cupboards bare for what you can bring up for, we talk about the salary cap. That's what you need, those young guys on cheap contracts. They don't have it.
But it's hard to do that and win.
Yeah.
Or and not win.
Yeah.
Or it's hard to win and still keep all your assets is what I'm trying to say. Because it's impossible in the NHL. Now look at Chicago. They won their 3 cups. They had a bunch of young guys, but then they had that core of Keith, Taves, Kane. I'd even put Seabrook in there. Crawford was their goalie. So they had that core that was a little bit older, but then they had guys like Panarin chipping in and other guys chipping in that were younger.
Hey.
But then that's the price you pay. Tampa is going to be shit here coming up.
Yeah.
Colorado, enjoy it while you can because you're going to be dog shit too.
And as Penguins fans, we knew this day would come. Obviously, whenever you have that top core, that top 6, you can't count the Penguins out. But, we saw with Detroit in 08, 09 after that, they had that older core that was playing well, and then the wheels fall off. That's just the nature of the beast.
It's taken them 12 years to even get back to, are they even decent? Could you call them decent?
Give them another year, maybe, possibly.
That's like a 12-year flip.
Yeah.
That's long.
Well, that's the thing. When you lose your Lindstroms, your Datsuks, your Zetterbergs, you lose guys, Cronwalls, you lose those guys, or they get older, or they move on. It happens, and it's so, I wouldn't say frustrating. It's just upsetting because I knew for a long time that the Penguins sucked. They were the Pittsburgh Pirates while the Pittsburgh Pirates were still the Pittsburgh Pirates, right? We had 2 really bad franchises. And then they get this spark in this young 18-year-old in 2005, and all we've known is the Penguins to win. And how successful the Penguins organization is. There's a reason they say the Penguins is the organization-wise is the best organization in the salary cap era because they've done it 5 times. Yeah. No other team can say that. So it's just upsetting to see that. Hey, I think the wheels are finally falling off. Are they going to be competitive every night? Sure. Are they going to lose a lot of close ones every night? Yeah. They're going to lose a lot more than they win. But are you going to be – is it sufficient enough that they all get the ride out together? Even though I think Sid plays an extra few years after, Malkin hangs it up and Letang as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, they earn it, though, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Crosby.
As long as you're okay with that because you can't win every year. It's just impossible. You can't be – I guess you could be competitive every year and kind of get into that, you're just in the wash there. You might have a chance. But if you're okay with the 3 cups that you got to see, and now you're going to have to face, 10 years of just
peace with it. Peace with it.
Some people never see them,
Exactly.
Never. I've seen 3. Some people never see them. So I'm okay with that.
If you're okay with it, when it happened, I was over the moon about it, but I knew in the back of my mind that this day would come and this time, in Pittsburgh Penguin hockey was going to happen, I was okay with it because at that time I was at such a high. I was enjoying it. I was going to games, going down to the parades and stuff. Excuse me. Those are experiences that I'll never get back, but I got to experience it, unlike a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I'm at peace with it, but the turning point for the Penguins franchise, the luck may have changed when Luke denied Andrew Stockey those donuts downtown. They have.
You think Andrew put like a
He might have cursed the Penguins.
little hex on us, huh?
Makes you think.
I think the gap between that's almost 20 years. The second and third cups. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's almost 20 years, right?
yeah.
92 to 09, 17.
Yeah. But I mean, close enough.
Yeah,
but then you had generational players.
That's a once in a lifetime team we saw.
Yeah.
So
and
we're
to
lucky.
do it back to back, we did it the first time. Did Chicago do it?
Yeah,
did they do it? Okay.
Or,
and then before them,
no, Chicago didn't. I think it was a year apart, maybe.
If Chicago didn't do it,
we were the
Pens might have
second.
been the last ones to do it.
Tampa.
I'm trying to think. No, didn't Jersey do it back in the late 90s, early 2000s, possibly? I'll have to look it up.
Penguins, because wasn't that the thing? Like they were just saying how it was basically the Penguins and the Lakers kind of thing. I think I remember
Winning back to backs.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was like across all sports, Penguins, Lakers. I think.
No, I don't count like original six. Oh, what is it? Montreal has 30 cups. There were 6 teams in the league. Yeah,
and
they
you know
won.
what they were doing back then? They were using like Toronto basically as a pipeline to get other like they're getting all the good players from the one team and taking it to them.
Yeah. So I mean, I look expansion on your first expansion on. And now the Islanders won 4 in a row back in the 70s or 80s. It might have been 5 in a row. The Islanders were a wagon back then, but that wasn't a salary cap era either. So it's just nice to see that when they talk about salary cap era, that the Pens are the top dog, even if they're not good right now. And we can hang our hats on that and just enjoy games for what they are, because we're not going to see very many more with Malkin, Crosby, and Letang in the lineup.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
That's all. Yeah, and that's all I got for the Penguins. Yeah.
Same here.
I'm down bad right now, just so you know. I turned on the Indiana Hoosiers basketball alerts, following my team. First alert is Indiana trending away from being a tournament team.
Oh no!
Not what I want to see. That is not what I want to see.
Let's hear the opinions of everyone on their teams, Andrew. You got yours, right?
Well, yeah, and that's my update for Indiana. Trending away from.
You got one?
Iowa State haven't taken a peek yet.
Haven't taken a peek. All right, this is Roberts. What's your first takes on your team? Tell us who you got. Do a little show.
I got the Gonzaga Bulldogs. I don't know. They're gonna they make it every year. They play in a weak conference. I don't know. I just what I mean. I hope they do good for my sake, and then I hope my boys do well. They had a tough loss Saturday at the Pitt Panthers.
Can you confirm that you're growing an Adam Morrison mustache in support of the Gonzaga Bulldogs? Shaving the beard, nothing but the dirty mustache.
Could be a possibility.
Is that the dude that was crying?
Yeah,
with long hair.
Yeah, okay.
Played for the Bobcats.
And he never showered like in the NBA, like his teammates.
I just started never showering.
They had to kick him out of practice because he absolutely stunk.
Excuse you. Don't yell at me like that again.
We had a kid in school like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names.
I shower like 3 times a day.
Kid. I remember Jeff Bowser made him shower before gym class.
Robert,
so bad.
I think you should pull the Adam Morrison. You have to shave the beard, leave the mustache, and you can't shower till they either get eliminated or win the win the tournament.
Be hard.
Dude, that could go weeks. They can make a
imagine I'm like in the house with like Phil and Ed and them, and I just don't shower. They like ask me when I'm in Detroit, they're like, "You gonna shower too?" Nah, not tonight, I guess. Nah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I got Virginia. Coach just won the most games in program history, and I've been a part of 0 of them. But I'm born Cavalier. I'm a big
saw you
fan of the
retweet that.
Cavaliers.
I
UVA.
saw you tweet that out.
Yeah. So Tuesday we'll get our first game. We'll take it in. So TBD of who the opponent is.
Hold up. Iowa State took down TCU yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday on a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
With
Beat 'em by
1.3
2.
seconds
All
left.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Iowa State looking up. We're going to move up here. We're going to be moving up.
Yeah,
And Ohio State.
I'm liking
Ohio State
my
lost
team.
tonight.
My team used to be number 3. They were number 3 at one point. So I think I got a steal.
Until Pitt took them down.
Yeah.
I think I got a steal. Pitt ain't
they
bad,
were they were 11 when they beat Virginia.
Yeah, my team's crap. They're gonna.
Hey, if they don't, you know what that means? They get a new team. You can maybe get Pitt.
I could.
Does Pitt crack the top 25 this week?
No,
Because of losing to Clemson. But they just beat number 11.
Yeah.
and 25. But I mean, it's North Carolina. They're like trash. So sorry, I don't care.
Beat Virginia.
Ranking Virginia.
I heard you guys say this. I watched the video back about when you guys drafted teams and everything. I
Thanks.
confidently can say like there's not a number one in college basketball this year. Like Houston's obviously going to be number one probably in Purdue, but like Houston, they don't play anybody. Like they don't play anybody. You know what I mean? And then like Purdue, the Big Ten's down this year. They're not as what they used to be. Wisconsin's not their best player just got hurt. Ohio State, their freshman class, if they're real young. It's the same way you look at Duke though. Like Duke, they're you know what I mean, they had 5 out of the top 20 recruits in the nation. They're probably not going to be ranked.
Yeah, they're young. They have Jeremy Roach is really their only guy coming.
And he's hurt.
Yeah, and
Jeremy Roach just got hurt with his broken toe again. So it's Pitt's time. This is the only time I think that they could beat Duke on the road. You know what I mean? Like on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's just they had that game in the bags. Pitt did on Saturday, but up 7 with 2 left.
Yeah.
You have a shot that Nelly Cummings makes a lot of the times on a floater there in the lane, and Greg Elliott missed a wide open layup, and the center, you know what I mean? He's so uncoordinated. Federico. He's so like I don't know. He's like a real. You know who he reminds me of? Like they said it on air too. Clint Capella.
Hey, what's
he has
his
no
name?
offensive game. His name's Federico. He has 2 for like.
So they just hit copy paste or like
He's
It's a copy pasta
He's
on
what?
him.
He's from Sweden,
Yeah, and then he went to.
but he moved from somewhere.
Yeah.
You could just tell he just doesn't have the coordination. He almost looks lost out there sometimes, especially down there.
Straight up
He got a block, and the Clemson guy got the ball back, and he like started walking up the baseline. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And then somebody come down the paint and ended up drawing or committing a foul. Like he should have been a doggone raw meat there and stayed with some help, but. Yeah, he just looked lost a little bit.
And they're playing without their best player, John Hughley. I mean, from what I read and everything, he didn't have it mentally throughout the summer. You know what I mean? And then like he just came into winter camp. He got surgery at the end of August, and now he just looks like I think they said he put on 45 pounds.
Jeez.
And now he's finally getting back to where he needs to be. They say he's about 2 to 3 still weeks out, so. If they can get him back, put him in the lineup, and then the one that obviously hurts is Dior Johnson, but we're not going to get onto that kid because why would I?
There was a guy on the broadcast on the radio because I listened to the game they played Virginia, and they said that he would compare this Pitt team to just a bunch of guys playing street ball that are really good at basketball and know where each other is. And you guys have played enough pickup ball that you get somewhere with 5 guys, you start running it, and you're not going to get off the court because everybody's playing where they're supposed to be, and they're scrappy and they're playing tough. That's what he compared this Pitt team to. And in watching the game against Clemson, you could see that. It just I feel like they needed the finish there, and they didn't.
Yeah, they just faded those last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It comes down to.
Pete's back though. Pete is back.
Pete is confirmed back.
Might have to go to a game or 2.
It's good to see.
Absolutely.
That would be fun. Maybe Youngzers video down there to make some time.
I'm down
Plus
for
the NCAA tournaments coming
basketball. I am a Virginia fan though, so that's like
will be
ACC.
doing
It's all right.
Should that be our next? We'll do a vlog. Youngzers down. Youngzers take the Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That or
they're playing Florida State coming up.
I'll put my Wahoo fandom aside for the day. Or what is it? Woohoo, Wahoos?
Oh, speaking about going places, what are you guys doing Saturday?
No idea yet.
Right now,
No plans though.
I turn 30 next Tuesday.
The dirty 30.
I think
Is
it's
it
Tuesday,
I'm not
right?
gonna say that one. Never mind. I'm not gonna touch that.
And I was gonna go to the casino possibly on Saturday. Yeah, next Tuesday I turn 30. So
Got some happy birthdays down in the comments for our boy Dan.
if you guys want to do, and anybody who's watching this that wants to meet me at the casino, I was thinking about going down. I don't know, 6:00, playing some blackjack, playing some stud. What's that?
Does Pitt play at home at Saturday next, Robert?
They have a big road trip. They just played for it. They have Duke, Florida State, and somebody else on the road. They don't come back till holy hell. They don't come back till the 21st of January.
Okay.
Is that against Florida State?
Yep.
Yeah.
They get to Louisville,
That's
Georgia
Saturday,
Tech, Duke, and Duke, Louisville, and Georgia Tech.
Youngzers casino trip. I'm always.
If you guys want to, it's up to you guys. And like I said, anybody who's listening wants to come down,
We're
you
here.
can't miss me.
It's not like we're not here.
Can't miss me. I'll be riled up, losing all my money.
Yep. And then on our way out, buy scratchers because that's what we do.
Do they have them at the casino?
Yep. You remember? You know what happened? You know why Georgia Tech won that game we went down to? Because Andrew was there. Chris bought a scratch-off ticket, and the machine did print it out for him. Chris is like, we know we're losing on this game.
Dude. All right. Well, we moving on. Jack.
Yeah.
All right. I got a personal one, so someone else can go first.
I don't think I have a Jag.
I already touched on the blind guy running into me yesterday, and that had the potential. But Jag of the week, tough scene for the Burl Sheets again. The other night, Thursday night, we're going there, a few things up. Nicole asked me, is it safe to leave my purse in the car? I'm like, yeah, no one's going to take it, whatever. It's always a worry. We open the door to Sheets and all hell's breaking loose. Someone's sprinting through the store. There's shit crashing everywhere. Little fellows yelling, get that MFer. And he books it out the door. All the employees look at each other. They start booking it out the door. I'm like, what is going on? I just kept shopping. I'm like, what? I'm looking, I'm hungry. I don't got time to deal with this. Guy rolls back in. He's dropping F-bombs left and right. There's kids all over the store with their parents. He's dropping the C word. He's MFing everything.
Wow.
And he's animated. And then I see a Sheets employee with a landline phone, which I haven't seen in years. I'm like, something must have been going down. Turns out, guy gets off work. He's at the ATM. Guy, there's a line behind him. Money comes out of the ATM. The guy behind him shoves him, takes the money, and is booking it out of the Sheets. He comes in.
Run, huh?
He's like, I would have got that MFer, but I slipped in the parking lot.
Oh man.
So if we were going in the other entrance, because the guy ran out the other entrance, we may have had the first Youngzers Instagram Live citizens arrest. I mean, I probably would have attempted a
Would
leg.
you speared him?
I would have. I see someone booking it with some money. Instinct's going to take in. It's a form tackle from there. It's going to be a Dan Couch safety in the Sheets parking lot.
They go like this after.
Get that head across. Hit him with the opposite shoulder.
Yeah.
And then
so here's
rip your helmet off while you're running off and almost get a 15-yarder.
Yeah. So I mean, I fully anticipated like Willie Gay like crawling like Joey, like we're celebrating the tackle there. Just something like that. But I'm just more interested. Ryan's the ultimate. Late. Small game, medium game, large game. What move? You see someone rob somebody and they're coming right at you. What move are you performing on them? You got one chance. What are you? What are you?
Probably with ease. Probably Undertaker, Hell's Gate. I watched that many Friday nights when I was probably about like 3rd, 4th grade. I watched Undertaker put about no less than half the Friday Night SmackDown roster into the Hell's Gate submission hold. So I thought it was real because they had them like bleeding from the mouth and stuff. I was like, they need to stop this. Like I thought it was real. I thought he killed like at least 5-6 people, Teddy Long included. I think Vicky Guerrero as well, but I don't know. We'll have to look that up. But yeah, either a triangle or maybe like a Kamara or something. I don't know. Kimura, or what is it called? Kimura. Yeah, do that.
I have big feet, 15s. I could have easily just stuck my foot out, tripped them,
I like find the pressure point right here and just go right down with one finger.
Yeah, maybe a nice karate chop. Dan, what would your move of choice be?
Headbutt.
See, if he's running full speed, you just stick that arm out there. You give him a meat hook. You give him a meat hook clothesline. Watch him go ass over tit cups, do a whole flip. Then you get up on, then you get up on top of him.
I honestly envisioned you clotheslining and then getting two Turner's tees out like Stone Cold and just stand on top of them.
Turner's isn't at sheets yet. They're working on it. But anywho, yeah, I would clothesline them, get up on top of them. Probably one or two headbutts. Whoa. Nobody wins in that.
Maybe a nice low blow.
This part of your head right here, about the crown, right at the bridge. That's where you're gonna do maximum damage. They're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna like it. Oh, you could kick them in the nuts. I mean, all's fair in love and war.
Imagine like a double kick right to the knee. Tear shit sheets lot.
Like a Ric Flair low blow, like that kind of thing. You just sneak out. Roberts, what would your move be? I know it's something dirty.
Sand in the eye, something like that. Pocket sand.
Yeah, like if it was farther up, like the checkout area, like where you can grab like the small snacks, I probably would like troll him and throw like a banana peel on the ground so he slipped and ate shit. Or I'd probably put him like, I don't know, if he's like running by, I'd probably put him in like the master lock or something. I don't know. It's something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Chris Masters.
I mean, I've always wanted to. This is just like, if someone's like doing that and I'm just pulling in and they're coming out the door, if I have the opportunity to like open up my door and have them run into it, I feel like that'd be just like pure comedy, just being able to pull that off.
You know what would be so funny though? Guy. If he would have went like, like he's running out the side, you came in, Andrew, and you like actually like locked the door or something, he just runs into like a locked door, comes up.
That'd be funny. Yeah.
I'm more of like a prop guy. If it was like a rainy day, I'd use like the wet floor sign or something like that,
Yeah, slide it under his feet.
Like the opportunity
to throw it like a frisbee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else got a good one? Roberts?
No Jags today, buddy.
Dan?
No Jags, bud.
All right. Well, I do have one.
Wait. You real quick. Ryan McDermott, just because you're a Jag.
Okay. Well, whatever.
All right. That's the second week in a row for you.
All right. Whatever. Unwarranted, but okay.
Oh.
All right, I lost my train of thought.
Buddy, you said you'd put a man in Hell's Gate with ease.
Yeah.
Unwarranted.
You are a big lifter though now. Like you're like, I don't know.
It's true.
And he's blue collar hunter. So
yeah, he has deadlifted 425. So I mean, yeah, he'd be able to with ease. I think he could submit a fleeing robber. They wouldn't expect the Hell's Gate. That's the last thing I'd expect.
True. But then he'd take it to the butcher because he's a big hunter. Yeah. Anyways.
I'd like pose with him too, and like I don't know, get it like mounted maybe, like like hold his head up like that and smoke.
Take it to a taxidermist and shit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Dan's heard enough.
Oh, the headphones are off.
Bullshit yet.
Yeah, right. All right. Jack of the week.
All right, my Jack of the week is the local employees at the Taco Bell. I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but I'm a non-frequenter of Taco Bell. This is actually the first time I was at this specific location. I acquired a gift card for Christmas. I was like, yeah, all right, like I'll go get some. So I download the app, I plug in all the stuff, and I'm like, all right, so by the time I order this and go pick it up, should be done, right? So do my little order thing, and I'm driving, I'm having a good time, like Saturday, all right? So I pull in. There's no one in the parking lot. There's one lady. She has one of those, like, transformer, like, vape rigs, like, whatever. Like, go ahead, do that, do your thing. So that's one of their employees. And I walk in, and I notice on my phone it says your order has been received. And it's a little unusual because it was only, like, this far in the timeline where this is, like, the whole... So it's been about 10 minutes, give or take.
Yeah.
And I'm standing at the register, and I see everyone in the back, like, and they're pretending to, like, squirt on each other. They're having, like, some, like, thing with the sauces and the bottles that they're, like, just, jagging around. So they're pretending to have, like, a squirting contest in the back of the Taco Bell. And I'm just like, all right, like, have your fun, I guess. And the one worker finally comes over, and she asks, like, what I want. I'm like, I already, like, placed an order, like, mobily. So... she like goes over to this other screen and looks at it kind of panicky and like hits all these buttons and they start making it. and their little game of like squirting on each other just ends all of a sudden with the bottles of, I don't know if it is avocado ranch or taco sauce, but there's a fine line between the two. I'm all for having fun at the workplace, but when it affects like my personal life, like don't be doing that in my presence. So Taco Bell employees that can't get a mobile order under control and are having sauce little squirt montage in the back, that's my
Brother.
Jack.
You walked in and they're like, Ryan, you gonna make me sweat? That's what
Dude.
happened. So you went today, correct? Did they redeem themselves?
No, it was the same thing. Yeah, I forgot about that. It literally was the same thing. This time I did the pickup through the drive-through instead of the inside. And they're like, "Can you pull around to the mobile order?" So obviously they didn't have it done again, and I had to do the same song and dance.
So I want to ask because
There's no one there again.
I would order Dawn's on the app because it was just easier. Just do it right from the house. Make sure you get all the order right. But then it's like, let us know when you're here. Check in when you're here, and we'll start making your food. No, by the time I drive from here to Dawn's, let's say it takes me 7 minutes, if that. My food should be complete. It should be.
What's the
my order
point
should
of
be
mobily
ready.
ordering that?
Exactly. Then I'll just wait in the drive-through.
See, Chick-fil-A does it right.
Like, it's not like I'm
Chick-fil-A
leaving. I
best
already
company out
paid.
there.
Like, if I already pay, the money's already yours. Just make the
Yeah.
damn food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I understand you don't want to eat the food, like you don't want the food going bad or whatever because I don't come pick it up, but if I paid, like you said, if I paid, it should be made.
But
right then and there.
That's another line there. Like, Sheetz is not as big of a company as McDonald's and Taco Bell, and they have an option of when you can pick up your food.
Mhm.
Like, why not add that? All right, like, okay, rant over. Taco Bell squirters, you're the Jags of the week.
Speaking about sheets,
Fight. That's probably the equivalent of.
Can't be making a mini Taj in the back.
speaking of sheets, and like when you can order, pick it up, you could do ASAP and stuff. So a kid I work with at
Rio?
3:00 in the morning, he'll he'll order his stuff, but he'll put it. He wants to pick it up at like 10 till 5, and he didn't know he did ASAP the one time, and he went and got his order. So he got a bunch of fried stuff, and it was all mush. But he also got, it was like an Oreo milkshake, and he said it was just straight milk. It was all melted at that point. So he goes and he shows up. He's like, and the lady was like, "Oh, we didn't think you were going to show up." He's like, "What are you talking about?" And he looks on his receipt and it said ASAP at 3:00. So it was sitting there for almost 2 hours.
Oh,
I'd have been like, "Can you remake
I was
this
gonna
for
say,
me?" But
I don't know.
but no, he doesn't like confrontation, so he's a really, really shy kid. So I felt bad for him.
think
but
it was
I
Rio
busted
or no?
balls for it. No, it wasn't Rio.
Damn.
That is a Rio move, though.
Rio Jag. That should be my
Jag.
Jag. Rio. Jag.
Yeah.
Jag.
Jag.
That's
All
it.
right. Well, that's it. Random athletes. Mine's that guy with 2 names from Pitt.
Buddy.
Federico.
Federico. That's mine. I just love that. All right. Anybody else?
Yep. He wakes up and breaks his legs in the morning and rips his arms off at night. Bo Bennett.
I thought you were gonna say Stephen Winkle, but
No.
I'm gonna say Lamar Patterson.
all right. I'll go Brian Bullington.
All right. Well, second episode of 2023 in the books. Starting next week, it's to be a different look with not 40 minutes of Steelers talk, so we have to think of stuff to talk about. I'm sure we can do it. We went an hour and a half today, so we're good to go. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. You guys don't worry about that. We'll do the heavy thinking here. So thanks for listening. Make sure to, I guess, like and subscribe and whatever else if you haven't yet. But
We're one away from 150. So
one away from 150. So yeah, good stuff. I'm about to click the record button, and Roberts is going to get really mad. So all right, see you guys later.